tomorrow. The restaurant, along with other Atlas Restaurant Group venues, will be serving customers outdoor. The company releasing this promo video saying it's ready to get back to business during the pandemic.
We will do our best to protect every guest, especially the elderly and vulnerable among us.
The video comes on the heels of Baltimore City Mayor Jack Young's announcement stating restaurants permitted for outdoor space can serve customers.
Last night, I conferred with our top health professionals led by Dr. Zavasa, and we decided to move forward with outdoor dining beginning tomorrow at 5 p.m. Restaurants must comply with the guidelines given by the governor, and we're going to watch the data closely to see how this small step goes.
Guidelines include customers being appropriately distanced, no more than 6 people per table, the use of disposable paper menus or sanitizing reusable ones, outdoor furniture being sanitized between guest use, and lastly, staff must be trained in current COVID-19 health workplace guidelines. Mayor Jack Young says despite changes to accommodate outdoor dining, Baltimore's stay-at-home order is still in effect.
If we really do the social distancing and the restaurants comply with all of the steps that our public health officials have issued, it's a personal choice for people. But I still would love for people to stay home and only come out if it's something essential that they have to do.
Baltimore City's health commissioner says if you do take part in outdoor dining, don't forget your face mask.
You still want to wear your mask. You still want to practice social distancing. So those restrictions, none of that has changed. When we go out, we still want to maintain that 6 feet. Unless we're eating, we want to keep our mask on, even as we're talking to friends across the dinner table.
And again, only restaurants previously permitted for outdoor dining can serve patrons starting tomorrow at 5 p.m. All other restaurants can apply for a temporary permit starting Monday at 9 a.m. Dave Detling, WMAR 2 News.
It might be easier just to take the roofs off these restaurants because everybody's going to be eating out tomorrow night. You heard Annapolis plans. You heard Johnny O just tell us about Baltimore County. You heard Dave Detling in Baltimore City. Now let's go to Harford County. Jeff Hager with plans for the restaurants there to start eating outside. Jeff?
As part of the reopening, some of the restaurants here in Harford County are prepared to take some of their business outdoors beginning tomorrow. What carry-out and curbside business it has is bustling. The Bagel Works here in Bel Air is working on expanding that business when the restaurant can allow outside dining on Friday.
The tents will give us, a little bit more, right? It's like maybe 10% more. Right? But it'll give the people an opportunity to get out of their house and come and eat safely and feel safe.
In a bid to further boost business for restaurants, County Executive Barry Glassman says he's willing to use parking lots owned by the county to allow further expansion where it's possible. And a few weeks from now, he's agreed to let the Bel Air Downtown Alliance use the tire lot on Main Street to attract more people to the area.
We're going to put a county stage facility there and maybe have bands, music, or some of our artists perform. And folks will be able to drive there and park and watch it just like a drive-in theater. On a smaller scale, but I think it'll allow folks to socially distance but still get out and help our restaurants at the same time.
The plan comes at a time when some restaurants have become frustrated, waiting for the reopening to reach them, including Bagel Works, which first erected this tent 2 weeks ago.
Just have people come and just sit down, get their carry-out, come out and have some place to eat so they don't have to eat in their cars, they don't have to sit down in the parking lot. They had a place to just go sit down. Everything was spaced out 6 feet. So we put that on Facebook as an idea, and we did that, and we got 25,000 hits in a day.
But it just took a pair of police officers to remind them that outdoor seating would be in violation of the governor's order at the time, forcing them to wait until now. The county says the key to a successful reopening is that people are mindful of social distancing, masks, and other safety precautions which could be part of our lives for months to come. Reporting in Harford County, Jeff Hager, WMAR 2 News.
And now from WMAR 2 News, Maryland's most accurate forecast.
a cloudy day across the area for most of us, but some folks have actually picked up on a little bit of rainfall. Radar right now showing that most of the energy is out towards the west near Cumberland. That's where you see all of that electricity, all of those lightning strikes out there. Thankfully, no warnings right now, but you can see some of these thunderstorms look a little intense from Mount Savage down through Frostburg, all the way down towards Barton and Western Port. That's all moving in a northerly direction, and that southerly flow is what we're expecting to bring that chance of showers into view as we head through the evening. We did see some showers a few minutes ago on portions of the eastern shore, but you can see that it's been diminishing, so really just some light drizzle starting to push into the Denton and Greensboro areas. City of Baltimore, we are in the clear for rain. It's just the clouds out there, and that's all we have to show right now. Here's that look at the harbor right now. You can see not a lot of folks out and about. The clouds really blanketing the sky, and that's going to keep things on the warmer side as we head through the evening. So check out where we are now. 78 degrees here in the city of Baltimore, some low 80s out west in Thurmont and Frederick, 80 in West Chestertown, and then 70s essentially everywhere else. The winds have been a bit breezy in some locations. We've been tracking a 13 miles per hour wind in Essex, 10 in Annapolis and Easton, and that is ushering in that warm flow. So expecting the numbers to fall to the low 70s by the 11 o'clock hour, keeping that chance of some isolated showers and thunderstorms interviewed through the evening and through the overnight. Now check out where we fall. We're only going to fall to 70 degrees tonight. South-southeasterly flow at about 9 miles per hour. We're still tracking about a 30% chance of some showers and still expecting some locations to pick up a little bit of a breeze. As we head into the day tomorrow, we are under that level 2 risk for strong to severe thunderstorms. And that's going to be a large swath of the state of Maryland. Everyone else essentially under that level 1. Strong winds are going to be our primary threat, but we could even see some large hail embedded in these thunderstorms. A kind of a secondary risk will be that potential for at least an isolated tornado. So reasons to be dialed in through the day tomorrow, lower risk for the southern half of the state. Here's how it all plays out, starting with the 7 o'clock hour. Clouds and a couple of sprinkles to start the day. We're not really worried about storm potential until we get into the afternoon. That's where the gas is. That's where the heating of the day comes into play. We'll be watching Western Maryland early and then watching this line of showers and thunderstorms develop ahead of the cold front as it starts to squeeze closer and closer to the region. So we'll be watching that tomorrow evening through the about the 12 o'clock midnight hour. And as we head into early morning, we're just going to be left with some residual showers and some clouds. And eventually we get some clearing as we head into your Saturday. So that's the good news. Looks like this line has sped up a little bit. So folks will be able to get out and about and enjoy your Saturday. But Friday, not so enjoyable. Cloudy, showers and thunderstorms, some which can be strong to severe. And then we're also going to be looking at humidity being a major factor in the day tomorrow. We're going to see dew points near 70. The good news, as that cold front slides through, we're going to start to see some drier air as we head into Saturday afternoon. More sunshine will come out. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s throughout the afternoon. 7-day forecast shows the weekend winter. Although Saturday is going to be nice, Sunday is by far going to be the most comfortable day to be out and about, whether that's just out in the backyard or going for your run. Below average temperatures as we head into next week. Next rain chance coming into view next Wednesday.
Amazing people giving back to the community. We've told these stories every single day. And today, Mount Washington Pediatric Hospital and all its community partners, they all came together to hand out food and other much-needed items here in the Park Heights area. How about that? They've already provided more than 20,000 pounds of produce and more than 1,500 diapers to all the people that live here. How about that? The hospital is all collecting and distributing adult and children's masks.
We noticed that 85% of the kids that are coming to different community events and food pantries just aren't wearing masks, and they're a vulnerable population. So we really wanted to make sure that they are protected. If there is a second wave of this virus that hits, we want to make sure that our children are protected.
Outstanding. Thank you for doing this. The event also featured a health table with information on COVID-19 prevention.
You're watching the station that's working for you. Now, WMAR2 News at 5.
Well, you know, sadly, we knew it was coming as we've watched the numbers. The country has passed an awful milestone in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic. More than 100,000 lives lost now to COVID-19. Grandparents, parents, children, military, veterans, all among those whose lives were claimed. The virus spread has significantly slowed, but new cases are still rising at least 14 states. Now, California has not joined 3 other states with at least 100,000 known infections as it and others try to safely ease social distancing restrictions and openings. And as states start to reopen, more than 2 months of isolation, social distancing, and soaring unemployment really taken a toll, a psychological toll. New data from the CDC released today showing the number of adults reporting symptoms of an anxiety disorder have tripled from this time last year. Jamie?
Is that right? Mental health experts say acknowledging the fear, the uncertainty, and the loneliness of this pandemic is crucial to try to contain it and try to manage it. Asha Karashi reports for us tonight.
Technology has done a lot to keep people connected via video conferencing or by text, but being physically detached is wearing on some.
One thing I've noticed with a lot of my clients is that initially they were not physically moving towards other people, but like emotionally, they were reaching out to friends and family. They were doing a lot of video calls, scheduling things. And I think people have gotten a little burnt out from that.
Dr. Kathleen Smith is a therapist and author of the book, Everything Isn't Terrible. Conquer your insecurities, interrupt your anxiety, and finally calm down.
There's flavors of the anxiety or the loss right now, right? And I think for some people it could be anger, but I think people are starting to experience sort of more of a malaise or a depression now, as opposed to just being a little bit anxious and jumpy, right? We're kind of settling into this funk.
The latest results from the Census Bureau indicate an alarming increase in the psychological toll the pandemic has taken on Americans. 1/3 of the 42,000 surveyed are now showing signs of clinical anxiety, depression, or both. That perpetual anxiety, says Smith, can result in understandable irritability.
The more anxious we are, the more we tend to pick fights or engage in conflict because we're not focused on ourselves, we're focused on everyone else and how they might put us at risk, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong.
Another important thing to realize is that you're not just working from home, you're at home during a global health emergency trying to get work done.
How important is it to sort of acknowledge that you can't set normal expectations for yourself in this time?
Yeah, well, I think that's another feature of anxiety, right? The more anxious we are, the harder it is to be realistic and objective about what we can and can't accomplish in a day.
To help cope, Smith recommends writing down 2 or 3 questions you want to ask yourself each day.
Like, how do I want to manage my anxiety today? Or how do I want to strengthen my relationships today? Just think questions that you can kind of turn to that are written down that help you do good thinking.
Smith says it's important to recognize the anxiety and face it head on.
We have anxiety for a reason. It's built in. It helps us deal with crises and with threats, but sometimes it gets in the way. And so I think being able to kind of laugh at it sometimes, recognize that it's part of our biology, it's part of our DNA, helps you kind of steer around it when you need to.
I'm Asha Qureshi reporting.
All right, well, since the pandemic began, the stress levels have really gone up, especially if we're at home trying to care for our folks who need our help right now. The National Alliance for Caregiving and AARP, they put together a caregiving report for 2020. Researchers found, listen to this, 1 in 5 of us now find ourselves in the position of being an unpaid family caregiver. With stay-at-home orders being lifted across the state, some caregivers may have concerns about transmitting COVID-19 when they visit a loved one.
I think no one wants to bring harm to anyone at this time, but the more automation we can bring to older people's lives, the better it will be for them, not only for now, but in the long run as well. The great thing is you can employ grandkids to help as well, who know everything about technology. And so there's always somebody that can help bridge the gap. And we have to be patient for sure with people that don't know or understand or are threatened by technology.
All right, listen, stay around with us for the 6 o'clock news here on WMAR. That's when Mark Roper will be on your TV, and he's going to have a few safety tips for you, okay? We'll see you at 6, Kelly.
All right, thanks a lot, Jamie. At this point, many of us are looking for entertainment, movies, sports, concerts. They're all on hold. Entertainers from the Rolling Stones to local artists are on the sidelines now. And one of Baltimore's favorite music and entertainment venues is Soundstage. WMER2 News' Don Harrison says they are ready for some lights, cameras, and action.
How many people remember going out for fun?
This time off is something that we're definitely not used to.
Mike O'Brien is the marketing manager for the Baltimore Soundstage. Soundstage was having a record spring, and then
60 miles per hour business, full steam ahead to shutting everything down.
All these dates were canceled, and nothing new is on the books yet.
Were you able to get a hold of those people?
So Mike and his staff worked on improvements and getting ready to open. Here's the stage at Soundstage. Plenty of room to get around and kind of quiet. That's not what making money sounds like. This is what making money sounds like. Era is a band that just got back from their European tour, and just like other artists, they have nothing lined up for the future. From DJs playing at the 8x10 to large concerts, everyone is on hold. And when they come back, the 50% capacity is not much help. Entertainers and venues need a full house to make money.
Point where we have to have enough people in here to not only get the ticket revenue, but also the bar sales to keep the business afloat.
These smaller venues are the lifeblood of the industry. Newer groups coming up and established artists that may not fill a stadium fit perfect in these locations. So as they continue to prepare for the return of their normal 275 shows a year, they look for new ways to go forth. They now sell their merchandise online.
A couple different designs to kind of make some extra money for the venue to help us.
And that money will go to the employees out of a job here at Soundstage. As the stage lights go dark, management, the employees, and all the entertainers are looking to take an encore in the summer of 2020.
Hey, thank you guys so much.
In Baltimore, Don Harrison, WMAR2 News.
You know, the unemployment claims keep accumulating here in Maryland. Numbers may be dropping a little bit, but nearly still 40,000 people still filed for benefits last week. WMAR2 News' Mallory Safaste asked the Secretary of Labor about what's being done to ensure that people are finally getting paid.
Hundreds of thousands of claims have been paid, but there are still a lot of people waiting for money, waiting for answers, and can't reach anyone at the claims center. Some hope is that wait times should improve with the launch of a new interactive voice response system. Phone lines will go from 200 to 540, and Secretary of Labor Tiffany Robinson telling me today that they're in the final testing phases for this new technology.
The new system will also have an option for everyone that's on the phone to have live interaction with our vendor and with the system and through live chats. So no one will ever be told that they cannot get their issue resolved when they're on the phone, which is extremely important. When someone calls, we don't want to have to make them ever call back or wait. We want to resolve all of their issues right then and there.
Coming up at 6, we asked the Secretary about claimants who have been waiting weeks and months for an interview. What's taking so long? How are they prioritizing claims? And how do they plan to better communicate with people? We also have a link to the full interview up on our website right now. You can see it at WMAR2news.com/reboundmaryland.
And I am tracking this cold front that is starting to slowly track its way eastward, and eventually that's going to bring us some more pleasant weather. We saw humidity creep up a little bit today, more of the same tomorrow, and we're expecting some showers and thunderstorms, much like what we see along this cold front right now, to start to push into the area for parts of your Friday afternoon and evening. Here's a look at how radar stands right now, and things aren't too bad for us. Locally, some thunderstorms firing up in western Maryland. That's just outside of our viewing area. Some showers also down to the south. It's a little bit lighter, still a stray shower possible through the evening, and those rain chances will be increasing as we head through the overnight hours. Temperatures still holding on to some 80s in lots of locations, 85 in Hagerstown, 84 in Frederick, 80 in Ellicott City, upper 70s essentially everywhere from Severn to Havre de Grace over to Centerville. So winds are a bit breezy out there out of the south, and that's why we're on the warmer side, despite the fact that we've been blanketed with clouds out there. Temperatures expecting to fall into the lower 70s as we get closer to the 4 o'clock hour, tracking a chance of showers through the night and into the day tomorrow, with thunderstorms possible as we head into the afternoon. Daytime highs in the mid-80s. I'm going to time out those showers and storms in just a few minutes.
All right, we're going to be watching Minneapolis again tonight after fires raced through that city last night, overnight, as residents lashed out in the wake of the death of George Floyd, a black man who died when a police officer pushed his knee into his neck for 9 minutes. And officials are urging calm again tonight as many struggle with their pain and with their frustration. ABC's Zachary Quiche has more for us tonight.
Flames stretched into the sky over Minneapolis overnight. Officials now say there were 30 fires as protests in response to the death of George Floyd hit a bowling point. An unarmed black man killed by police while terrified onlookers watched him take his final breaths. The mayor saying these confrontations and the pain they've revealed are deeply rooted.
Emotion-ridden conflict is the result of so much built-up anger and sadness. Anger and sadness that has been ingrained in our black community, not just because of 5 minutes of horror, but 400 years.
Officers in riot gear fired non-lethal rubber bullets and flash bombs. But the protests could not be contained. This AutoZone burned to the ground. Officers say one man was shot and killed during the chaos. Now officials are scrambling to restore peace and begin the healing process. Ben Crump, a lawyer representing Floyd's family, tweeting, "We cannot sink to the level of our oppressors and endanger each other as we respond to the necessary urge to raise our voices in unison and in outrage. Looting and violence distract from strength of our collective voice." Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey called for Officer Derek Chauvin, seen on that very disturbing cell phone video with his knee on Floyd's neck, to be arrested.
We want to continue to make sure that our community can come and gather in spaces to heal, to grieve, in honor certainly of Mr. Floyd. But I cannot allow criminal acts to occur.
According to a police watchdog group, Chauvin was among several officers investigated after a fatal shooting in 2006. A grand jury later declined to indict. Records also show that Officer Tu Tao, seen here, was part of an unreasonable use of force lawsuit that was settled out of court in 2017. Protesters are demanding that all 4 officers are prosecuted for Floyd's death. The mayor of Minneapolis has asked the National Guard to come in and restore some order there, and the family of George Floyd is asking for calm and an end to the violence. Zachary Quiche, ABC News, New York.
You're watching WMAR2 News with Jamie Costello and Kelly Swoop.
You know, we've been doing this now for months and months and months. We've been profiling businesses that are open in our area that are, struggling, trying to make ends meet, and we want to put the word out that they are open and they're trying to make a go of it. And right now you can go out there and support them. We're letting you know that we are open Baltimore. And one of those businesses, how about the Double Groove Brewing here in Forest Hill? It's a small brewery and a tap room. It just opened. Just opened at the end of January. You talk about timing. And just as things were starting to take off, word of mouth on the street was that this is a great place. COVID-19 hit. But they are still open. They're still selling beer to go and gift cards.
We'll help you out. If you don't know what you like in craft beer, we'll ask you what you drink on a commercial level. And we try to match it up with something close to what we do here. And you get to experience something that's produced locally.
We got to go there. Double Groove is open Tuesday through Sunday from 12 until 7 for carryout, curbside, and delivery. Keep it grooving there, Double Groove. And don't forget, a lot of our local businesses need your support. We thank you in advance for doing it. Go to WMAR2news.com/open to see who's offering carryout or delivery on this Thursday night.
Now from WMAR2 News, Maryland's most accurate forecast.
Nice day for a walk on the beach, taking you out to Ocean City at Plum Plaza Hotel, where lots of folks are out and about, taking a nice walk out there. You can see visibility is a bit reduced. That's something that's not unusual. Cloud cover out there also on the thicker side, but temperatures are comfortable. They're at 66 degrees at Ocean City. We're a little bit warmer, 78, and as you go to the west, the numbers increase. So we're going to be at 85 in Hagerstown. Humidity out there, and that's also the area where some thunderstorms are tapping into that energy. Thankfully, much quieter across most of the rest of the region, at least for now. Temperatures at 78 here in Baltimore, 78 in Columbia, 73, a little bit cooler down in Annapolis, 77 in Bel Air. Expecting these numbers to be a few degrees cooler than yesterday due to the clouds, but we still warmed up quite nice and still ended up being a seasonal afternoon. If you have any plans this evening, at least have the umbrella on standby. Isolated showers and thunderstorms still not out of the question. We're going to be tracking that through the evening. Temperatures, though, will not fall a whole lot thanks to all of this cloud cover and southerly flow. Tomorrow morning when you wake up and walk out the door, we're looking at numbers in the upper 60s, low 70s, depending on where you get up. So already a warm start to the day tomorrow, and we're tracking a frontal system that is going to slowly start to push in. So warm air already out ahead, a little bit of humidity, and then you have a lifting mechanism. If you were watching any of our Charm City classrooms, yeah, you guessed it, thunderstorms. Going to be a possibility as we head into your Friday. Some of those could be strong to severe. Here's how the risk breaks down. Southern Maryland and Eastern Maryland under that level 1, potential to see some strong thunderstorms that could pack a punch as far as the wind and some small hail. But that yellow shaded area, that's going to be that level 2, so a little bit of a step up there. Potential to see thunderstorms that are on the severe side with winds gusting over 58 miles per hour, large hail, and an isolated tornado not out of the question. We're going to be watching the radar for most of the day, but really honing in to tomorrow evening. That's where the most instability looks to pass through the region. So here's how we get through your Friday. Starting off in the morning, clouds and numbers in the low 70s. As we head into the afternoon, isolated thunderstorms will be possible, especially out towards the west. But as we head later into the day here, that's where that line is going to start to push in as that front starts to make its approach. Thunderstorms, some heavy rainfall also possible in some of these thunderstorms. We could see some winds gusting through the later part of the day. The good news, as we get closer to midnight, all of that energy starts to shift out. A few trickles of moisture out there, but for the most part, all of that's going to be gone early Saturday morning, and I'm expecting us to start to clear and make way to a decent Saturday forecast. Once we get past about the 2 o'clock hour, we'll start to see some sunshine and the temperatures will warm up a little bit. Still going to have 2 points in the 60s, so may not be completely comfortable outside, but as we head into Sunday, that's where the money is. We're talking about highs that are going to eventually get into the 70s, low 70s, humidity that's going to be in the low 40s or dew points, so it's going to be very comfortable out there. Picture perfect day to go for that walk in the park. Humidity does take a little bit of a dump downward as we head towards your Monday, and then as we head towards next Thursday, it'll start to creep back upwards a little bit. But I think once we get past Friday, we're going to be smooth sailing for a few days. Here's that 7-day forecast where, of course, the weekend is in view. Early showers on Saturday, eventually clearing as we head towards your Sunday, mostly sunny and comfortable, below normal temperatures as we head into your Monday. Just for frame of reference, we should be at about 78 this time of year. Going to stay below that until Wednesday, where we see our next chance of rain.
All right, thanks, Patrick. You know, the class of 2020, not honored in the traditional way, but we want to make sure our graduates get recognized. We're sending a big congratulations out tonight to Francesca Sheck. She is graduating from Towson High School. Francesca will attend the University of Mississippi in the fall. Go Rebels, and congrats to Francesca.
That's great. Can I just be honest with you? I love this next man, Joel Gamble. He has done so much for Baltimore. He is just a great, great human being. A former NFL player right from his hometown is not letting the COVID-19 affect him in any way from his passion of helping. He's taken his expertise from the field to the computer screen, and WMAR 2 News' Sean Stepner caught up with this great man today.
Joel Gamble is used to helping kids. He's been doing that for 7 years through his Joel Gamble Foundation.
Our mission is to provide youth with opportunities and resources in order for them to become successful.
One of those resources the West Baltimore native and former NFL fullback and tight ends foundation provides is an annual flag football league and free football camp in Baltimore City. But with coronavirus cancellations, Gamble needed to call an audible.
So we still wanted to find a way to still engage the youth and provide them with an opportunity. But keeping them safe.
I need to see everybody in the video. Thumbs up, arm circles.
We decided to have the virtual NFL skills and drills program.
Okay.
100 kids, most from Baltimore City, ages 5 to 18, are taking part. 70 of them got free tablets. They all got their jerseys like normal. Each Saturday, they all hop online to connect with their teammates and get advice from Gamble and his NFL buddies.
The youth get the chance to learn from NFL professionals and coaches, positions, get to hear their journey.
You take your three-point stance.
The first session was last weekend. Sykesville native and Patriots linebacker Brandon Copeland took part.
You can switch your feet.
So you want to get down here.
And former Ravens linebacker Josh Bynes made an appearance.
On your toes, just a little bit.
The kids were all in.
You could just see their faces just light up.
Squat jump.
It's all about doing the most with what you have. That's one of the lessons Gamble hopes his virtual campers learn over the next 7 weeks.
You changed it up and
Right.
made it work. What's
Right.
your message to other people who need to change things up and make it work?
Just as far as it's all about being flexible. You have to be basically a chameleon. You're ready to move and ready to kind of work with whatever you have. If you're able to kind of adapt, then you'll always be successful in whatever it is that you're trying to do.
How y'all feeling? Give me a thumbs up.
In Baltimore, Sean Stepner, WMAR2 News.
You know, some neighborhoods are really feeling the impact of COVID-19 a lot harder than others. In honor of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, the Life Preservation Initiative donated 140,000 non-surgical masks to the Salvation Army of Central Maryland. Those will then be distributed throughout Baltimore City's most vulnerable communities like the senior citizens, low-income families, and the homeless population. They've also donated to first responders.
Many Asian American Pacific Islanders, businessmen and volunteers, they help, they use their network around the world to secure and donate PPE to hospitals.
And I know it's greatly appreciated. The organization also donated 200,000 masks to communities in New York. All right, we got more news and weather coming your way.
All right, lots of great stories at 6. We'll see you then.
The station that's working for you. Now, WMAR2 News at 6.
And I'm Jamie Costello. Welcome in. Kelly, this time tomorrow night, we'll be able to take it outside, huh?
That's right. Things are getting a little less difficult to figure out what's going on to open up. Tomorrow, things are opening up, and which areas are going in different directions is all being sorted out for us. This evening, Baltimore County saying it will align itself with the governor's next step in reopening businesses. WMAR2 News' Ray Strickland live for us in Towson with more on where we can go in Baltimore County tomorrow evening. Ray?
Yeah, Kelly, Baltimore County Executive Johnny Olszewski says the county is ready to move into phase 1 of the state's recovery plan. He says starting tomorrow at 5 o'clock, restaurants can open outdoor dining. He also says barbershops, hair salons, houses of worship, and retail stores can open at 50% capacity. Olszewski says these businesses, of course, will have to follow strict health department guidelines. He also says he's hoping these openings can reduce confusion for residents who don't know what's open and what's not, but he said people should not be confused with the fact that this virus is still out there and that these openings could have some consequences. It's why he's still encouraging people to continue to stay vigilant and cautious.
Continuing our gradual reopening should not be seen as a sign that we are ready to return to lives as we knew it before COVID-19. Please continue to stay home whenever possible. If you must go out, wear a mask and keep 6 feet of distance from others. If you're older or have underlying health conditions, you are at higher risk and you should take every step to protect yourself and those you care about.
Olszewski also says day camps and pools can open. Of course, they will also have to follow strict health department guidelines. On the restaurant side of all this, Olszewski says for those who do not have an outdoor dining permit, they can start applying for those tomorrow and will be conditionally approved. But as I said earlier, Olszewski did say if these openings have a negative effect, he won't hesitate to close these businesses again. Live in Towson, Ray Strickland, WMAR2 News.
All right, now let's go to Baltimore County. We just heard from Johnny O And now we want to take you to Baltimore City. Now, the stay-at-home order remains in effect, and the mayor, Jack Young, says restaurants with outdoor dining permits can begin serving customers. And I know Little Italy's going crazy over this. That'll start tomorrow at 5 o'clock. WMAR 2 News' Dave Detling has more from the city tonight. Dave?
Well, of course, this is all weather permitting. Baltimore City says it has 237 restaurants permitted for outdoor use, so they can all participate as long as they follow strict guidelines. Restaurants permitted for outdoor dining in Baltimore City are gearing up to welcome customers back. Starting tomorrow at 5 p.m., restaurants can serve customers outdoors as long as they're following guidelines set forth by the state, the FDA, and CDC. Guidelines include customers being appropriately distanced at tables, no more than 6 people per table, the use of disposable paper menus or the sanitizing of reusable ones, outdoor furniture being sanitized between guests' use, and lastly, staff must be trained in current COVID-19 health workplace guidelines. Mayor Jack Young says despite changes to accommodate outdoor dining, Baltimore's stay-at-home order is still in effect.
If we really do the social distancing and the restaurants comply with all of the steps that our public health officials have issued, it's a personal choice for people. But I still would love for people to stay home and only come out if it's something essential that they have to do.
You still want to wear your mask. You still want to practice social distancing. So those restrictions, none of that has changed. When we go out, we still want to maintain that 6 feet. Unless we're eating, we want to keep our mask on, even as we're talking to friends across the dinner table.
And again, only restaurants previously permitted for outdoor dining can serve patrons starting tomorrow at 5 p.m. All other restaurants are encouraged to apply for a temporary permit starting on Monday at 9 a.m. Dave Detling, WMAR 2 News.
All right. We told you about Annapolis yesterday. We told you about Howard County yesterday. We told you about Baltimore County, Baltimore City. Now let's go to Harford County. During the state's methodical reopening plan, some restaurants have felt like they have been well behind the 8 ball. Well, tomorrow in Harford County, they are ready to expand their outside seating. WMAR 2 News' Jeff Hager spent the day in Hartford, and he has more tonight.
It had its tent ready 2 weeks ago, and now this restaurant in Harford County is ready to recapture some of its business outdoors. Bagel Works in Bel Air has kept its waiters and waitresses employed making deliveries, and it's also provided carryout and curbside service to hold on to about 20% of its business. It estimates using a tent for outdoor seating will boost that by another 10%.
It'll give the people an opportunity to get out of their house and come and eat safely and feel safe, right? But with everything that we've been doing, with sanitizing and gloves and masks and all that stuff, trying to be right in the CDC guidelines the whole time.
The county has already amended its codes to help the restaurants, and it's freeing up some of its municipal parking lots for additional seating when possible. It's even preparing to use the tire lot just off Main Street in Bel Air for drive-in style concerts with local artists to help draw people back to the downtown area. The county reminds people to continue social distancing and other safety measures to help prevent the spread of COVID despite the reopening. Reporting in Harford County, Jeff Hager, WMAR 2 News.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeff. So now restaurants can start offering outdoor seating, but what happens when you're allowed to eat inside? You may be wondering what the experience will be like and what's being done to help keep you safe. Well, today, the Restaurant Association of Maryland provided details about its Restaurants Are Ready safety plan, and here's a look at what you can expect.
Restaurants are ready to go above and beyond what they do every single day in order to keep their employees safe and their customers safe. So you're going to be seeing things such as distancing between tables, barriers in between tables. Employees are going to be required to do health screenings before they're allowed to work, face coverings for employees that interact with customers.
Now, in the meantime, the association says you're encouraged to continue to use carryout and curbside pickup to support restaurants during these difficult times.